Hello, welcome to Sabretooth at Nethemba, where we care about your security. Excuse my cam, a little bit dark today, colours a little bit washed out. It's just bad lighting in here at the minute. Okay, as last time I did an insane level box called Takedown. This time I think I'm going to do, I've got 3 in hard, 1 in medium, 1 in easy. Let's do another easy one today, just as a little bit of a break before going back into something a little bit harder. So I've been told about one which may be good for showing off some things I've not yet used, called Game Pass. No, that's PlayStation. Game Zone, I think. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if that's all one word or two. Game Zone, here we are. So although there are hints here, and every one of these categories here will give me a clue, I don't want to be looking at them. I'm literally looking away. I'm just joining room. I'm starting machine, and I'm minimizing because, is that started? There we go, because I don't really want to be looking at any hints at all. So what we're going to do is add a subnode, which is Game Zone. We are going to connect to the Try Happening network. Let's see if we can get this one done in about an hour. Looking at this without actually, what does it say? What does it say? What does it say? Oh, it says 45 minutes actually. So if I do it in an hour, I'm doing badly. Let's see if we can do it in 45 minutes, I guess. Okay, completed. But of course, I will be explaining things as I go. So just maybe, it'll take me a little bit longer due to that. My IP address is still 102.67. The IP address at the target is not known yet, so let's see. What we'll do is get rid of that. You know what we could do, although it's probably not needed, is I could do sudo nano hosts, because we've got internal and we've got takedown, but I just thought we could put one in for Game Zone even if it's not needed. So let's get the IP here, and we'll throw this one in and just put Game Zone. We'll call it whatever we wish, but we'll do gamezone.thm. It's a good way of doing it. Then it won't collide with any existing website. So really, we can just put in gamezone.thm here. And that could be what we use, you see. So what we can now do is nmap xtv all ports, and then we can literally do gamezone.thm, and we don't have to worry about the IP address, you see. Save us a little bit of time. Whilst the nmap scan is running, obviously we're going to try gamezone.thm. Whoops, okay, so we'll have to put a HTTP in there so it doesn't go straight to Google. There is a website, okay, that's fine. As this may eventually tell us as well. It might not. Well, it should do, shouldn't it? So at least we can play around with the website whilst the nmap scan is running. So we're going to log in as admin and password admin, and we find that this is taking a while actually, but it doesn't work. We can register. No, we can't. That doesn't work. We've got a search. Gives us an X and a Y. I wonder what this does. Let's change this to 100 and change this to 100. It doesn't seem to do much. And then we have these which you can't click. Downloads, community, about, none of which work. So one thing we can do is look for robots.txt. Which doesn't exist. We can run a directory scan with derb. So that's running now. Not sure how long this is going to take. Apparently it's only done 30%. So in order to speed up an Nmap scan, if I cancel this, what I can do is the same sort of scan, except I can just do the most common ports rather than all ports. And then once I've got a few ports to work with, I can then increase. You see, look, already this has given me like port 22 for SSH and port 80 for Ubuntu. So Linux. Okay, that only took 7 seconds. See, so I can put this down, and then whilst I'm working on this, I can do a fuller scan. Normally a good way of doing it, right? Good. See, it only shows 998 closed and 2 open because it only tested the top 1000, whereas now it's tested. Oh, it's 85% done. It's quicker this time. Let's see. Nice. So maybe things were still starting up and it wasn't able to scan properly, but it still shows the same too. So I'm not too bothered about putting that in my notes. Okay, we've only got the SSH port and the web port. Let's see if Derb has come up with anything. We've got an images directory which we can check out, but I'm sure it's just got the pictures of the site. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's got all the GIF files. It is GIF, it's not GIF. I don't care what anyone says. It's graphics, right? G. It's not graphics, is it? Graphics. Okay. So there is nothing else there. So let's try some basic attacks, like just putting an apostrophe here and here to see if it comes up with an error. If so, it's probably an SQL injection. Sometimes it doesn't come up with an error if it's a blind SQL injection, got incorrect login. What I can try to do is an SQL injection attack like this. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that's let me in. Let me explain why this works. So this in username field allows access to portal.php. Okay, right. This is an database statement. When it's connected to the database, it will select all information or some information from, let's say, the users table. We know about the tables in the database, where username equals whatever we enter, and password equals whatever we enter, right? It doesn't matter about the spelling. I'm not keeping this in here. So that's what it originally looks like. Now, if I put in this, what this does, it looks in the username, it looks in the database for a combination of the username field and the password field to be, and if it finds it, it returns that record. If we put in this, or, well, we can put test, it doesn't matter what we put here, or 1 equals 1, right? What happens is this goes inside here, right? Like this. So now if you look what it's doing, selecting the record from users where the username is test. Because the username test doesn't exist, it then goes to the or statement. Either the username is test or 1 equals 1. Now 1 always equals 1. So it's going to pick the very first record in the database, which is generally the admin user. And what this does, it comments out the rest of the line, meaning all this is ignored. So that is the statement. It's just choosing, right? This is why that works as an SQL injection. The reason I'm going through this pretty quickly is because I'm going to try and do this within an hour if I can. Search for a game review. Test. Okay, because we just put in an apostrophe this time, it says you have an error in your SQL syntax. And once again, it's injecting into the database. I've got a feeling we can do the same. So entering this gives, so this is SQL injection again. And if I do this or 1 equals 1, it will find every single record and list it, because 1 equals 1 every single time. If I do 1 equals 2, 1 doesn't equals 2, so it'll match none of them. Whereas if I do 2 equals 2, that always works, because 2 always equals 2, and there we go again. What we could also do is probably look for the Hitman 2, and it just pulls that 1 record, okay? And if we do Hitman 2 or 1 equals 1, because it matches on Hitman 2, it won't run the OR. No, something else happened that time. Anyway, whatever, I'm wasting time. What I'm going to do is run SQL map, which is quite useful for SQL injection, as we know from before. Now this time I've managed to remove all my customer data. Make sure that's still okay, that's good. I've removed all my customer data from Burp Suite, so now I don't have to pause every time I open this. It's gone, it's not here anymore. So what we'll do is we're going to get the browser using Burp Suite. We're going to put something in. Wait for this to open first. Nice. We are going to intercept, and when we send this search, it will be picked up by Burp Suite here, gamezone.thm. And what we're going to do is just take this whole request, just copy it, right? We are then going to, actually I won't do that, I'll do it down here. We're going to nano post one.txt. This is going to be our post request that we've just copied, pasting it in here. Save it. So now when we run SQL map, we can do it with the request being this post one.txt. We're going to do threads 10, so it runs 10 attacks at once. We are going to do batch, so it's not going to prompt us for any input. I'm going to run it just like this and see what happens. So it says that it appears to be injectable, and now it's saying it is injectable. So it's found the SQL injection. That's good. And that's it. We're done, right? So now it knows exactly how to get into this database using this injection, either a Boolean blind or error-based or time-based or union query, whichever one it decides to use. It doesn't matter. As long as there's a way in, that's great. So we're going to copy this, and SQL map is usable here. So what we do now is we run it again. We run it again. Actually, let me just go down a few. Guess my camera's in the way. No, that was wrong. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, what am I doing? Right. Go away, die. Okay, that's going mental. Do you know what? I'm going to open another thing and kill that one because I messed that up. Right, so we're going back to SQL. There we go. SQL map. Post one. I don't need to give it any threads or anything this time because it's already done it once. And what we're going to do, keep batch, is literally dump the whole database if we can. Nice. So what you'll see is that we've got Mortal Kombat 11. These are all the things from the database, you see. We also have a users table with a hashed password and a username. Good. So it's gone into the users table and found that. That's what we like to see. See how easy things are with SQL map once we know. We now have this hash. So how do we crack the hash? There are a couple of ways. John the Ripper is one of them. Hashcat is another one. But here's another one which actually may be a lot quicker, which I sometimes use for certain hashes if we can't quite identify the type. There is a website called crackstation.net, and this is a rainbow table, a collection of rainbow tables, which means, I wonder if it actually explains it here so I don't have to. It has pre-computed tables with plain text passwords and hashes, and they map between them. So once it's already been cracked, it's stored in this table, meaning I can hopefully just look it up without it having to crack it all over again. We shall see. Our hash is SHA-256 and the result is VideoGamer124. Perfect. Nice. So that saved a lot of time using John the Ripper or anything like that. Station.net shows. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that being in a table. Cool. Good. Happy. So let's just make sure that this does work by going to here and logging in with agent 47 and the password anything. It says incorrect logging, so we do agent 47 and what was it, video gamer 124. Oh, I must have done that wrong, unless I'm doing something, unless I'm wrong about this. Okay, no, it is fine. Okay, so there we go. But there's no admin panel that I can see, because Derb would have picked that up. Maybe Nikto will pick something up actually as well. So let's take a look at that. Oops, we need a H flag for host. H is usually helps, that's confusing. Oh, I'll tell you what we could do though. We could actually try this with SSH. Agent 47 at gamezone.thm. I'm not sure if it'll allow that. Yes. Video gamer. So the host file, it only changes the IP into the, it does the DNS mapping for web requests only. SSH is something entirely different. So what I'm probably going to need to do is use the IP here. So we'll try this again. I think this happened on another system that we did as well, so I'm not surprised. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant. We've got our first user flag. Good stuff. So I don't think we're doing too badly, actually. This allows access via SSH. Boom. And we have our user flag, which we're just actually going to put in here. As well as here. Okay. How many time? We are 19 minutes in. Good. We've gained access to the system, so we're probably not going to need Burp Suite or anything anymore. I should maybe leave it open anyway, but there's no real point now that we've gained access to the system. Okay. So we are going to uname A and see what we're up against. It's a 64-bit version of Linux. We're obviously going for limpies and so on because that's normally a good thing to go for. So we're going to Python 3 HTTP server, and we're going to do that on port 80, which is the default port for web, even though it's not the default port for the Python server. So we're going to wget HTTP 10.14.102.67, was that right? I think it was. And we're going to get limpies.sh. Brilliant. We're going to get pspy64, and we are going to change the mode of both of these to executable, and we're going to run limpies. So because this is an easy box, I'm expecting to see a few things which are either yellow or red, which can help me out. Oh look, immediately we've got this LXD group here. So what I can do is Google Privesk LXD, right? And we've got all this, we've got all these resources which we could use to try and get privilege escalation. Good, but let's wait for this to actually complete so we can have a look for some other things as well. Okay, that's just our path. All these exploits could use. So I mean, I think using LXD is just a case of following a vulnerability walkthrough. All we need to do is just follow these steps, I think, and that's it. But that'll be a little bit boring. Let's see if there's another way in, non-intended, or another intended way. Who knows? Let's take a look. Let's see what else we've got. Maybe there isn't, but it's always worth looking. Sockets, root. That's interesting. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things listening. One of them is on the database. We know that the database is running because we've just hacked into it. One of them is port 22, which is SSH. This one's also 22, so that's the same. Port 80 is the website. This one, 13128, I'm unsure. I'm really unsure about that. Let's take a look. I've got 10,000 there, look, because I've looked at that for something else. I was doing that with a pen test, actually. I think 10,000 is available here, actually. Nice. So 13128. It's not a standard or well-known port. Okay, but I know from experience and from doing this very recently that 10,000 is used by webmin for configuring Unix-like servers. Okay, so yeah, absolutely, I know this, and you can see I've not actually clicked on any links this because as soon as a new webmin was running before, I know exactly what to do. So it's actually quite fortunate, really, that I'm coming across this now, having done this. When I say not too long ago, 6 months, 7 months, something like that, perhaps. Good. So webmin. Limpy shows, as well as the LXD, which I'll come back to. Port 10,000 is open. Let's carry on. Let's carry on looking, see if there's anything else, because there's two ways in now. We've got this LXD and there's this web. Not saying that webmin's actually a way in, but it might be. It's not important. Okay, we've got these hashes for password hashes. So we will take we've got like a wrong realm username, anon. Okay, we're going to take this as well because we've got some password hashes which we can crack if we need to. Let's grab these. Quite important. Let's see, what else do we have? LDAP, permit loot. So we can log in as root via the SSH. Normally that's disabled, so it's good that it's not. SSH keys were found. We don't need that because we know the SSH access for agent 47, so that's going to be useless. Few capabilities here, but nothing that I can see that's important. Few backup files. And that's it. So it also shows we are part of the LXD group. Okay. So we've got three things to look at here. And then I'm going to put in brackets I'm going to put this here, right? Because then we can look into that. So we've got three different things here. We've got port 10,000, which I believe may be webmin if that's, if it's running the default thing. We've got these to crack and we've got this to do. I'm actually going to start with the webmin. The reason why that didn't show up on the port scan here is because it's an internal port, not external. So I know we've done this before. What I'm going to do is SSH agent 47 at whatever the IP address is. This one. Oh, I don't mean to do that. Go away. So SSH there. And let's go down a few lines so my cam doesn't get in the way. And then we're going to do a local port forward, and I'm going to do my local, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or should I do 10,000 just to keep it? I'll do 10,000. So I'm tunneling their internal port 10,000 is going to be accessible from my internal port, my local port 10,000. Video gamer 124, I think. Okay, so that should be now set up, meaning if I go to 127.0.0.1, which is my own IP, what you'll see here is unable to connect. But if we try connecting it on 10,000, what we will find is hopefully we're able to get into this webmin here. Okay, nice. That's what we like. So let's copy this. This allows access to webmin service on port 10,000 locally, meaning this. Now, importantly, if we do ps aux to list the processes, if we find webmin, which is going to be quite difficult to find that through here, so what we're going to do is ps aux, we're going to grep, which is find, and go webmin. You'll see it here. you'll see that this is running as root, and that's what I was hoping, which means if we're able to get a connection from the webmin server back to us, it will be done as the root user, which is what we want. Okay, this one down here is my search that I'm just doing for webmin, this one here, so not important. Okay, cool. So the default username and password for webmin, I don't think there's a default from what I remember. Do you know what I could try? Agent 47. Don't reuse passwords, guys. Video gamer 124. Okay, that allowed access straight off. That's brilliant. Okay. We can log in with agent 47 / video gamer 124. I think we might be nearly there. All we need to do is get a reverse shell from here, and we are laughing. We are just over 30 minutes done. There's the file manager. Oh, this module requires Java to function. System information. I don't think there's any admin or anything. Let's hang on a minute. So it's looking for, I think I should check robots.txt as well, obviously. Just not allowed, okay. What I could also be doing is if the webmin version is 1.5.80 and the Ubuntu version is this, I can look for vulnerabilities. Info page shows. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this now. It'll save a bit of time if we do it now. Well, that's running. So we can do search exploit, webmin. Oh my god. So we've got 1.5.80 here, and we've got 1.5.1.5. So I mean, we could just put in like 1.5.80 like that, and it'll just find that one. Okay, this is done via Metasploit. We've not yet used Metasploit. So this would be quite good if we've not done this before on this YouTube channel. Let's run MSF console. And we'll try and use Metasploit to get into this. Now, Metasploit is a fantastic tool. We've used MSF Venom, which is part of the Metasploit framework, in order to create payloads, for example, reverse shells, and when we did the buffer overflow. But MSF itself, this framework here, it's great. It's just full of exploits, and it automatically, love that word, like tries running them for you. Pretty much, you just give it a few parameters. So what we're going to do is search for webmin. And there are quite a few here, as you can see. So what we can do is we can search for webmin 1.5.80. So let's just do 1.5 just to round it down, hopefully. And now there's only two, and this could be the two that are shown. Okay, I've just realised that I've not made any notes on this. There we go. That's what I wanted to note down. Could be the two that are shown here. We've got a show CGI and an RPC CGI. So we've got show CGI, and this one doesn't seem. Anyway, if you look at the rank, this one says excellent, and this one says normal. So let's obviously use the excellent one. It's number 0. So we're just going to put use 0. And then we're going to go show options. And what we need to do is set all of these options. Okay, so we're going to set the password. Well, we've got to set all the ones which are required anyway. Set the password to videogamer124. We're going to set the R host as, hang on a minute, it's not the local service, is it? Because we're accessing it over my own system. We've got a tunnel going. So 127.0.0.1, that's an easy mistake to make. The R port is 10,000. We'll keep the port the same. We're not using SSL, so set SSL to false. The username is agent47. So if we show options again, you'll see that these are all set now that need to be. We've got the target type, but what we don't have is what payload we want it to use. So we can go show payloads, and these are all the different ones we have. So let's just use a Unix or Linux reverse shell here. So we're going to go set payload, and now when we do show options, or it gives us more things to fill in, or one more. The port which is going to connect back on, we're using 4444. I'm not going to complain about that. And the host, which address does it want to come back to? Well, obviously we need the shell to come back to our own IP address, don't we? So this one. Throw that in there. Now if we show options one more time, everything is set as it needs to be set. So let's put that in our notes. And then finally, exploit and wait. Okay, it says that it succeeded. The command shell is open. Who am I? Root. So we're going to cat the root/root.txt, and that is our final flag. We have root access. What we could do at this point, if we wanted, we could add, hang on a minute, let me just put this in here first, and this down here. And what we're going to do is stop the terminate the machine. 1 hour 23 left. That's awesome. Good. And now I'm not under time pressure. So what we could do at this point, if we wanted to maintain access to the machine, what we could have done is we could have added a new user to the etc password file like we did before. We could do that as a root user, or we could use this to run a shell and get like a shell back to outside of Metasploit in Netcat, or anything really. There's many things we could do to maintain this root access, but there we go. If I try and access it now, it should die because I've terminated the machine. Yeah, it's not doing anything now at all, right? Okay, well, let's get this finished. This was quite an easy one, hence easy, right? So deploy the machine, done. What is the name of the large cartoon avatar holding a sniper? That was from the Hitman series. That's Agent 47. The hint for that, reverse image search. Okay. So this actually gives you like full guide all the way through. That's what makes this one easy rated. It's not necessarily an easy system, but because it gives you a full walkthrough. This is explaining exactly what I was explaining a minute before with the SQL injection and how it works, and that's using all 1 equals 1 as well. It put an extra slash after an extra dash after it. I don't do that, but it doesn't matter. All good. Once you've logged in, what page are you direct to? Portal.php. All good. oh, this says use SQL map as well, so it shows you exactly how to use it, and it even intercepts the request using Burp Suite as we did. It also sets the DBMS. I didn't do that. The rest of it looked about right. What is the hash password? I don't know. I don't remember that. Hash password is this one here. What's the username associated? Agent47. What was the other table name? Good question. Good question. What is the other table name? There's users and there's host. Okay. So, like I said, this one would just walk you through and just guide you through everything. If you're a total beginner, go for a box like this. Seriously. So this uses John the Ripper to crack the password. I didn't do that. I went to CrackStation. But it shows you how to use it, and it uses the RockU word list. Fair enough. What is the de-hashed password? Video gamer 124. What was the hint on this one? Use the RockU. Well, okay. What is the user flag? We have the user flag down here. Oh, so this was the intended way using the tunnel. I wonder if I could do it using the LXD as well. Easy enough. This shows how tunneling works. But we're not worried about that. Oh, it's done it to port 9000, so that's a bit different. Okay, that's fine. How many TCP sockets are running? There was 6, but port 22 was twice, wasn't it? So let's go 5. Yeah. Oh, it uses 10,000 on here for both. That's fine. That's okay. Doesn't matter what you use, it's still access. What's the name of the exposed CMS? That was webmin. What's the CMS version? 1.580. What's the hint? Any credentials you can make use of to log in? Yeah, don't reuse passwords, guys. Oh, and it uses Metasploit, so I pretty much did it the full intended way. Let's look at the hint before I actually hit enter on this one. The correct payload will give you root access. The flag is located at root / yeah, we know that. Okay, submit. Nice. This one wasn't too bad at all. This one was very, very straightforward, and it would have been more so if I'd have read the hints as I went. Not needed, thankfully. So this was just a little bit of an easier interlude whilst I'm recovering from both back pain and that insane box. Next time we'll go back for something a little more complicated, whether it's a medium, hard, or insane, I don't know, but it definitely won't be an easy one. Thank you so much for joining, and be sure to visit nethemba.com for all your pen testing needs. Thank you.